Good morning and welcome to Ayubowan, Sri Lanka. Today we have with us Mrs. Ambreen Waheed. She is from Pakistan and she is the Executive Director of Responsible Business Initiatives. She is also the Chair of the South Asian Forum for Responsible Business. So good morning, Mrs. Waheed.
Good morning.
And you have been coming to Sri Lanka for like several years, many times,
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
almost more than a decade. The first time I came in '94, and then I keep coming after years and years ago, and for different things, and especially focus more on the CSR agenda. And I've worked with chambers, and I've worked with the fair trade people here, and a lot of other global compact and some other initiatives. Yes, and I've always enjoyed my trip here.
So it's very nice to have you with us. And Mrs. Waheed, I was going to first ask you, when you say that you are the founder of Responsible Business Initiative in Pakistan, what does it mean? What is the organization? What is the core of the organization?
Okay, actually the RBI, the Responsible Business Initiative, as we call it, is an enabler for corporate social responsibility or corporate citizenship, or we can call it more of a responsible business. So our main agenda is to try to make people understand what responsible business is and how they can implement responsible business practices into their businesses more cost efficiently. And then the other part of our agenda is to make the practices in the emerging markets known to the European people, to try to make them understand our issues. And because there are a lot of non-tariff barriers on us based on the trade, and there are demands from our buyers and demands from the consumer for the business in Asia and in the supply chains, because most of the supply chains of the big brands are in Pakistan, and there is a lot of demands for us to have a lot of compliances, social and environmental compliances. So they have a lot of code of conducts and some criteria for us. So we now try to make them understand what are our issues and what we face difficulties in implementing some of the things. We want to be more responsible. So that's why we do a lot of research. We convey that research to them. So all our information is based on a very field research and active research.
And what is the role of RBI, the Responsible Business Initiatives, in regional alliances, and how does the RBI contribute to countries like Sri Lanka, and what is your role with respect to the region?
As I said, I am a believer of things. If you want to make a change, bring a change, it can't be done alone. Like-minded people should work together to bring a lot of change. So as in our region, we have a very common things and common cultures, and we can share a lot of learnings and experiences with each other. And for us to basically have a competitive edge in our own countries and improve our economic condition, I think it's also important for us to have a responsible market in the region also, and also improve the conditions within our region also. And also it's important, and again, as RBI agenda is to improve the business practices, so if within our region we would like to see more organizations like RBI who can help businesses within their own countries. For example, we have started or initiated a lot of what you call it, networks and forums, and also organization within the region. I can give you a few examples. For example, the organization we just talked about, which I'm the chair right now.
That is, we were talking about the South Asian
Forum for Responsible Business. In that, we came up with two of the partners, one from India and from Pakistan. We came up with an idea that we have a lot of experience within our countries, and since we also work internationally, we are on the boards of organization outside Pakistan who are developing some of the frameworks, or who are developing the theme of CSR, or who are basically into the evaluation of CSR internationally. So we want the organization here to understand the international frameworks and then help their companies to promote that. So we formed an alliance of NGOs or civil society organization within 8 countries, including Bhutan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka, India and Bangladesh. And the stronger organization are not helping or enabling the civil society organization within these countries by actually working, developing training and research with them, and in the process we enable them to learn more from us and then implement that in their own countries. And the South Asia Forum, we have a secretariat in Bangladesh. We have an independent director who run this organization at the secretariat level. Then we have a board, stakeholder council. From each country we have one member, and right now I'm the chair of this organization, and this is one organization. Then I'm also part of a lot of other initiatives, like there is a Asia Pacific Roundtable for Sustainable Consumption and Production. So in that network we are promoting how we can improve or create more awareness about sustainable consumption within these countries.
Right. Before we speak about that, first let's also, because sustainable consumption I guess is a topic by itself. Now just that, because we got clear as to the role of the business initiative, responsible business initiative, let's define what you mean by responsible businesses. What do you mean by the term, what it is about?
Actually, it's again many 2 decades ago, a lot of people started talking about the responsibility of the business, or the corporate social responsibility term came in to it had been there for many decades, but for the last 20 or 25 years, when some of the companies started, I'm sure everybody knows about that, some environmental disasters happened. So a lot of activism came into, and people start talking about business are very bad and they do bad things. And because of that pressure from the society and from the media, the business started basically, the initial reaction was denial, that they didn't do anything wrong. But then they started, okay, they have to comply to certain levels, and they started with the compliance stuff. But then after a few years, the businesses realizes that by doing things afterwards, after some disaster happened, is more costly. So they started implementing some of the systems within their internal system, that how they can improve their internal system to basically foresee the risk and improve their environmental and social responsibility within their companies.
So actually now you're talking about social responsibility, right? So is there a difference between social duty that a business should have and the responsibility? Is it a mere responsibility only? Yeah, that's what I was coming to, that basically one thing is that initially there's another idea that social responsibility mainly cater to that if the businesses, what they do with the profits. Business are earning a lot of profits, so there was a pressure that, okay, they have so much money, they are even businesses who are bigger than government, they have larger budgets than governments, so they should also do their due part, give back to the society and give some share out of their profits. So this we call more of a philanthropic work or the community investment, and this is basically how they use their profits. But now the responsible business agenda, which came after experience and everything, and people start thinking that it's also important for business that how they make their profits, because sometimes they make a lot of profits by harming the society, harming the environment, exploiting people, exploiting their workers, exploiting other things, and doing a lot of corruption. So that is not good, that they make a profit, they share that profit, but they make profits from unfair means and then they share it with the people, so then to look good. So now responsible business mean that you generate profits. It's not any bad thing to do, earn profits, but these profits have to be earned through a very responsible business process. So you have to be responsible at each level. You have to be responsible to each and every stakeholder. Either it's your worker, either it's your environment, either it's the government, whether it's the tax company, government tax departments, whether it's a Securities and Exchange Commission, or whatever. So basically it's also, though you say it's a responsibility, because when you say it's a responsibility, either you can take it up as a responsibility and treat it so, or you can also